Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to King Family Farm and welcome to my kitchen. It's been really busy the last couple of days. We're getting ready for Christmas and today I'm making one of my favorite parts of Christmas breakfast. My mom always served this on Christmas. It's called Peameal bacon, and what it is a pork loin, which we have here, that's been sat in a brine for about 5 days. And after that, it is patted dry, rolled in cornmeal, sliced and fried. And it's so good and ridiculously expensive at the store. Now, when I was a kid, we always bought it and it was good. And then probably the last 5 or 6 years, buying it has been disappointing, really disappointing. It waters out in the pan, you can't get it to brown. I don't know what they've done with it, but you get this little tiny piece, which doesn't weigh quite a pound, for $8, and it's not very good. This, I decided to try and make this last year because I was just tired of disappointment, and best thing we ever did. It browns up beautifully when you fry it. It has so much flavor. It's not overwhelming with clove. And it's just fantastic. So essentially what it is this pork loin, and we're going to brine it. And with that, we're going to brine it with salt, and we've got some spices here. So we have Prague powder, which is going to give it that nice pink color that everybody who's had Peameal bacon is familiar with. If you've had Canadian bacon, if you're American, we call that back bacon. I've never seen a Canadian call Canadian back bacon Canadian bacon. We just don't do that. But anyways, that pink color comes from the Prague powder, which is a curing salt. You can leave it out. I never have, and I don't know how it would turn out, so I can't really tell you either way. It's got mustard seeds, bay leaves. Here we've got cloves, whole cloves, and peppercorns. And we're gonna simmer this really quickly in a brine. I've just started it on the stove here, so I'm gonna take this and dump it in, because it really is that quick. And we're just going to add the salt. And the other thing we've got here is maple syrup. And this is our homemade maple syrup from this spring. And we're gonna add this. And then we're just gonna bring this to a simmer. Just gonna get a spatula here. We're just gonna bring this to a simmer. Make sure the salt is all dissolved. You don't have to dissolve the sugar because it's maple syrup. I've never made it with anything but maple syrup, so I couldn't tell you how that's going to turn out. And yeah, so we're just going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it. It's not going to take too long, take about 5 minutes. So this is just something that totally says Christmas to me. Having Peameal bacon just says Christmas. So I'm going to put the recipe down in the comments. It's for a 4 pound loin, which is what this is. You can see this is a pork loin. And this particular one is 8 pounds, so I've doubled the recipe. And I'm going to cut this into 3. If you had a 4 pound one, I would just cut it in half, and it's going to fit in this container a little better. I've actually got some extra water in here to cool that down when it's done. And then we're just going to pop it in the fridge for 5 days. Just make sure it's submerged. It's heavy enough. It should be just fine. Put a lid on this, put it in the fridge, and forget about it for 5 days. That's it. And when it comes out, all I'm going to do is just pat those pieces dry. I'm going to roll it in cornmeal, yellow coarse cornmeal, and that's it. Fry it up. I'll actually freeze the extra if there's any extra. Dad will probably take a piece because he just loves this stuff. And he's probably going to get a piece for Christmas. I love doing consumable gifts because people, they don't need stuff. They don't need stuff anymore. People, particularly my dad, if he needs something, he buys it. He's at that point where he doesn't need to buy tools or anything like that anymore. So I'm just going to cut this in 3 pieces. So I'll just grab a knife. Give this a stir. Oh, that's the other thing I was supposed to stick in this. I actually had to go to town because I forgot one ingredient and I didn't have it. So I had to go to town and pick it up. And I totally forgot. So I'm gonna grab it. But this is how it looks. So to start with, this is how it looks. So we're just gonna put that in here and cut this again. Now, you can trim some of this fat off if you want. You don't have to. I don't, because it's pretty good fried up. So this piece is a little more questionable. It's harder to cut because it's just the end of the loin, but it's still good. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to just stick that in there. I'm going to get rid of this. Give my hands a quick wash. And garbage dump, we'll take it outside. All right. Now I'm going to dig through my groceries that I bought and find my lemon. Here we go. A couple lemons. I'm going to give these just a quick wash because these are going to go in rind and all. You can buy organic ones. I wouldn't use Meyer lemons. I don't think they'd have the right acidity. I think they'd be a little too floral and it would be kind of weird. So I'm just going to give these a good scrub. So I hope everybody's doing good for Christmas so far, or whatever holiday you're celebrating, and you're ready. I know we're not, and we're not going to be. I'm going to wash this quick. I don't really need to. If these lemons weren't going in with meat, I would be a little more concerned. But they are, so I'm not super worried. So we're just going to cut these into wedges. There we go. So this year I'm not hosting Christmas, so I don't have to deal with Christmas dinner. Although I am cooking the turkey, and I butchered the turkey yesterday, and that was a bit of a job. I haven't actually butchered my own turkey before. We've raised poultry for a few years. We have in the past. Now I do process my excess roosters and I use them in stock and they're quite good. But our meat birds, usually I send them out when I send out the ones that I sell. But we've lost our processor. And my turkeys weren't quite ready when they were closing down. So I had to wait and I had to do it myself. And it was a big job, but a super satisfying job. I cannot wait to put this turkey on the table. I hatched it, I raised it, I processed it, I'm gonna cook it. It is just for me the ultimate in self-sufficiency, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm gonna brine it too, so I might show you the brine that I cook up to put the turkey in. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. So I've got to get this brined up and into the fridge, and then I got to go to town. I got to pick up my son from daycare because he goes 2 days a week, and then I'm going to take the kids Christmas shopping for their papa and Nana and Grandpa and Nanny and Pappy, and they're super excited about it. And we might go get a sweet treat when we're done. So I love doing stuff with those like that with my kids, and they've been really into it this year. They're 4 and 6. And they're super excited about this too. They really like this. They're like, Mama, are we going to have Peameal? Yes, we're going to have Peameal. So the reason though, people are like, why is it called Peameal? Well, it's called Peameal because at one time it wasn't rolled in cornmeal. It was rolled in pea meal. So ground up dried peas. This is a very British kind of thing, although I'm not really sure they serve it like this anymore over there. My mother was English, and I think it's fairly common to roll dried and cured or pickled brined meats. It's a form of food preservation. I'm not 100% on that, but I do know that at one time it was rolled in pea meal. And so that is why it's called Peameal or Peameal bacon. And now what you could do is do one that's this size, serve a piece of it fried up as green Peameal bacon. And then the other piece, don't roll it in cornmeal, and you could put that in your smoker, cook it, and then it would be Canadian bacon, or what we call back bacon. Again, I don't know why. I've only ever seen Canadian bacon when I was trucking in the US. And I've never seen it in Canada. It's very weird. Anyways, so we're just waiting on this brine. There we go. And that's it. So this is cool. When this is cool, we're gonna dump it in here, and away we go. And then what I'll do is, after I've dumped it in here, I'm gonna put it in the fridge and forget about it until Christmas Eve. And I'll get it out and I'll pat it all dry and roll it in, you don't want it too dry, but you can roll it in cornmeal, and then I'll just wrap it in parchment paper and pop it in the fridge. And it'll be good in the fridge for a few days. I don't have to worry about dealing with it until after Boxing Day. And we'll have great Peameal bacon for Christmas Day. So I think you guys are really gonna enjoy this. So we're just gonna wait for that to cool off before I put it in here, because I don't wanna cook this. So that's a concern for me. So as long as I wait for that to come to room temperature, then we'll put it in there. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And I hope you guys try this. It's really worthwhile. It's fantastic. So I'll come back to you when we mix this all together. So the brine cooled down. We put it in here with some water that wasn't in the brine, and you can see the meat is just completely submerged in here, and it smells really good. And I know it's raw meat, but it still smells really good. So the lemons are in here, the bay leaves. Smells fantastic. That lemon, it's just such a nice flavor. And the cloves are in here, and they're just enough, the flavor. So we're just gonna leave this for 5 days. And like I said, once it's done, take it out of the brine, pat it dry with some paper towel, roll it in cornmeal, away you go. It's fantastic. I hope you give this a try. If you do, let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you here next time at King Family Farm.